So what do I do? How do I do it? And how do I get the most out of it? And how do I get the most money? And what are the pitfalls? There's a heck of a lot of pitfalls, I can tell you now. But stay with me and come along and I'll give you some ideas and thoughts on how to sell your stuff. My lovely neurodiverse family, it's Karen here. Welcome back to my channel. Today's vlog is going to be all about selling your stuff on Marketplace or Gumtree or anything like that. As you know, when you've decided that you're going to go on your big lap around Australia or as a permanent holiday, then you realise that you've got a heck of a lot of stuff to sell and you need to sell it somewhere. So where are you going to sell it? Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you just choose whether or not you want to sell your stuff, give it away, or give it to family, or give it to the salvos, or you decide whether you want to chuck it away or not. So for me, I got a lot of stuff that's still really good. I want to try and downsize as much as I can, and I choose to sell on Marketplace and Gumtree and that kind of stuff. So what do? How do I do it? And how do I get the most out of it? And how do I get the most money? And what are the pitfalls? There's a heck of a lot of pitfalls, I can tell you now. But stay with me and come along and I'll give you some ideas and thoughts on how to sell your stuff. So number one is take stock of your stuff. It's actually going through every single cupboard, picking out the things that you think you're going to keep and take and put into your van, or are you going to put it into storage? Where's it going to go? But what is the stuff you don't want? And then have a good look at it. Let's just face it, if it's something that perhaps you wouldn't buy, then maybe someone else won't buy it either. So it would depend on what your standards are. Like certain things such as, like I've got all of this plates and cups and the like there. That sort of stuff doesn't really sell that well because people want sets. Mine's just like bits and bobs of this, that and the other. And you'll actually find that you've probably got 2 plates of this and 3 plates of that and whatnot. I'm going to give those to my workplace because we always run out of that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to take it to work and work will use all of that. So think about what you want to give away. And then you go through the stuff and you go, oh my gosh, I've got 5 pans. I don't need them anymore. I've got all of this sort of like serving trays and whatnot. You're not going to use a heck of a lot of serving trays in a caravan because you ain't going to be doing a huge amount of entertaining. If anything, you'll be going out to dinner. If you have friends and that sort of thing. And if you don't, it will probably just be a barbecue and most of that stuff you'd probably have in your van anyway. So I would say pretty much most of this kind of stuff you don't need. And then you're going to look through your house and you're going to go, I've got so much decor. So you've got prints and pictures and you've got like vases and decorative items, placemats. You've got bedding, like heaps of bedding. You might have heaps and heaps of sheets and whatnot. You've got all these little bits and bobs around your house that you probably won't take with you. Vases, flowers. If they're things like you say, if it's just going to be a year-long trip around Australia or wherever it is that you live, you may want to put some of this stuff in storage. So for me, I am planning on not having anything in storage. However, that isn't something I've actually came to a final decision on. I may still keep some of my furniture. I'll probably be giving things away like the TV. Well, not giving it away, but selling it, and a couple of other things that obviously I don't feel sit well in a storage unit anyway. So I'll probably get rid of those kinds of things and sell them. So you know, you've got all your stuff that, you know, that you use every day in a house, but you're not going to use that in a van. So things are going to be different in a van. So like we've got this little box here and all 4 of these are used for shoes and we've even got another one. So we've got a cull the shoes. You got to cull your clothes. My bedroom's a real mess, so excuse my bedroom, but you got to go through all the cupboards in your bedroom. You've got to go under your bed. You got to go in all your drawers, you know, all of this sort of stuff. Downsize, like here, I got DVDs, etc. And I've actually done is I have a huge DVD collection, but I've culled it and I've put them all into these because I think that if you go to a place where there's actually no reception for streaming, you've still got something to watch. So you could still watch something at night. So guys, don't get rid of all your DVDs. Just downsize it to this, or if you don't have any DVDs, have a look on Gumtrees and stuff, but you can pick up what you like for $1, you know, $2 maybe. So you got to take stock. What's in your house? What do I want? What don't I sell? And then you got to start looking at how much is that stuff worth. And the best thing advice that I can give you, and really my second thing to selling stuff on Gumtree and Marketplace would be check out what other people are selling the same thing for. So if you've got Christmas stuff, baubles or whatever it is, and you're looking at selling those, find out what other people are selling it for. But also remember that there's cycles of things. So say Christmas stuff, you might want to start selling that around October because people are starting to think about Christmas and what they'd like Christmas. And they start thinking, oh, what do I want my decor to be? And they might find something that you have that they might like. So it's looking through all of your things. What are you using and what don't you need anymore? You know, like you have so much stuff. We accumulate a huge amount of stuff. And although we may use it from time to time, there's a lot of stuff we don't use. So have a check out. Number 2, find out how much people are selling their stuff for, because you don't want to oversell. And then obviously look at the condition of their stuff. Is yours better? Is it worse? Is it the same? That kind of thing. And then you start sort of basing your prices. And sometimes another thing that I do, if there's nothing that I can find of that particular thing, is I will just put it out there. So I'll put a price out there that I think it's worth. If I get absolutely no like bites on that particular thing, then I'll just take it off the market for a few weeks and then I'll put it back on at a lower price. And then you just start to sort of get the gist of the market. So in here, I've pretty much cleaned it all out anyway. I've got rid of most of the furniture in here and I actually made quite a tidy little sum of money. So all up, I've culled by half, and that half amount of furniture that I've sold and decor, etc., it's probably given me about $5,000, and that's not a lie. So your stuff can be worth a bit of money, but you just got to put the effort in. So then it's looking through your kids' room, and this is my boys' room, and it's always messy, but there's a lot of things in here I need to sort of get rid of, start downsizing, start selling. So I'm going to get rid of all these cupboards and whatnot. This wardrobe here's got to go. I may keep his bed and bedside table here, and we'll just put them in storage. So there's a few things I'm keeping in storage. Toby loves this. I'm going to keep this in storage. This over here I'll probably be selling because it's a good little gamer's chair or a little nook. Some people just have a little nook that they might be able to just put a little 2-seater in, and that should sell quite well. I see they sell really well most of the time. So it's just having a look around, see what things are selling for and try and base your price on that. So definitely do your research. The third thing is staging and photographing. So people, you've got to make your stuff stand out and you've got to have it clean. The worst thing I think that people do on Facebooks and marketplaces and all that sort of stuff is put dirty, dingy stuff up. And it doesn't sell. It doesn't sell for the best price you could possibly get it for. It might take you 5 or 10 minutes to dust and polish up something, and you could make an extra $5, $10 on that thing if you actually put the effort in. So the third thing is staging and photography. So as you can see, I'll just show you now over in this clip there, I had this really dirty picnic set. So for me, I thought I'll just try and clean this up and get this stain. This was just a coffee stain. Unfortunately, the coffee thermos leaked. We didn't have the lid on quite tight, so it actually made a little bit of a mess in that. So I've given it a bit of a bleach and a bit of a clean, and hopefully it comes up okay. If it doesn't come up okay, then perhaps I might just sell it a little cheaper. So it's then looking at how much they're selling for, and making sure things are clean and tidy. Like, people like things tidy. It's also, when you're photographing something, make sure that you've got good lighting and keep it neat. Make sure the background and the thing pops out and stands out. And that way you can often get a few more bites for selling. So definitely clean your stuff up, make sure it's presentable, and then stage it right and photograph it. And do plenty of photographs, like from different angles, inside, outside. And then also another thing that I highly recommend is to put measurements. People like measurements. They like to know how big something is, because it gives them a bit of an idea. And then if you actually do that, it saves someone an issue of having to actually inbox you for that particular thing. So do your homework, make sure it's presentable, make sure you've got all the details that you're in. Anything that's missing or broken or damaged, put it up on there, because there is nothing worse than when that person takes that home and then you get an inbox saying, oh, this has a crack in it. So just give it a big once over, have a really good look and just see if there's any damage. And then that way, if you put it up on the actual posting, you're not going to get people coming back at you and saying things. So that's my tip number 3. Tip number 4 of gum trees and marketplace selling and that kind of stuff is understand you're going to be dealing with, I'm going to say it, I'll probably just put a thing there. There's a lot of them on that platform. There's people who inbox you and say, is this available? And then you get nothing. You say, yes, it is. People ask multiple questions. You tell them and then they say nothing. So you're expecting from that perhaps they don't want it, but they should be letting you know. People, if you are on marketplace and you're buying stuff, don't do that stuff. Just let them know, I'm sorry, but I'm not interested, it's too far, or sorry, I'm not actually interested, it's too small, whatever it is. It's just courtesy. Start showing some courtesy on these websites. It's not hard. If you can ask whether something's available, you can tell them that you're not interested. Some people accidentally click on the things, and that's okay. Like, sometimes we just accidentally click. So that's okay. It's okay if you don't want my stuff. I don't really care. I can just sell it on to the next person. But the bit I really, really despise is people who waste my time. So you get a lot of different people on there. You get the no-shows, the time wasters, the multiple questions, the stupid questions, and what else do you get? The lowballers. People, you're asking for $100 for something, and they will come along and they'll say, oh, will you take 20? Now, I find that rather insulting. So don't be one of those people either. I'm all for bartering. So if I was selling something for $100 and someone said, oh, will you take 70? I certainly might consider that. But I certainly wouldn't consider like $50 or $40 on that $100 item, because you put it up there and you've done your research and you've figured it out and you pretty much know what that thing's going to be worth. So if you do that, don't do that. It's not good. So lowball is probably one of the irritating ones. The worst of the no-shows. So you get a multitude of messages. Yes, I'll definitely be there. I'll pick it up. They text you that morning, they're coming, and then nothing. They don't pick the item up. They don't come. They don't tell you they're not coming. Now, all right, granted, people can have accidents, things can happen, whatnot. But I'm sorry, courtesy, people. Just because I'm not your friend or I'm not your, like neighbor or family, that does not mean I'm not a human being. I'm still a person. I am there waiting for you to come and collect an item, and then you decide you don't want to come. That is absolutely fine. It's not embarrassing to say, sorry, but I have changed my mind. Or sorry, I went to the bank and actually I don't have as much money as I thought. I really apologize. Pass it to the next person. I don't want to have a time that's to be met and you don't show up. it's disgusting, and you need to stop doing it if you're doing it, because it's really irritating. And that's something that you're going to find when you sell your stuff. There's going to be people that do that. And yeah, if you're one of them that do that, don't do it, please. So you're going to have the no-shows, you're going to have the low-ballers, you're going to have people that ask stupid questions. You put everything in your ad and then they'll go, how big is it? And you just roll your eyes and you just go, oh God. Or they go, where do you live? And it's on the ad. And then you go, where is that? It's not that hard to find it on maps. Go do your research yourself. It's not for me to keep guiding people as to what to do. And then you just feel obligated to do it because you don't want to be rude. And obviously you want to sell your stuff, but there's no need for people to treat you like a doormat. Do your own research. If someone's got the address up there, read the whole thing. Don't just read look at what it is and then go, oh, where do you live? Because for the most part, most people put it on their ads. So look at the ad, check it out properly. Don't waste people's time. That time wasting thing irritates me, because then what they actually do is then they go, you tell them where you are and whatnot, and then they go, oh, that's too far. And they could have done that themselves without wasting my time. So they are the pitfalls of selling. Then what are you going to do with your money? So number 5, what are you going to do with the money afterwards? So for me, I've just used it to save. So I'm saving as much as I can, because for me, I don't believe in like loans and stuff like that. So I'm trying to save as much as I can. I probably will need to get a loan at some stage, but I'm trying hard not to. I'm trying to sort of save for my van outright, and that's where the money is going. And I'm going to go through a whole vlog on finances and how I'm funding my trip. And that will probably come in with work and all that sort of stuff. So I hope this has helped you and has been informative to help you on the road to selling all of your stuff, because that part's a little bit frustrating, this whole part, and I've got a long way to go. So I'm going to be in the thick of this for the next, few more months, because my plan is to sort of the next 6 months. And obviously with coronavirus, we've had a real huge setback with that kind of thing. So a lot of us have stalled in our selling. So it's also just picking the right time to sell the right stuff at the right time. So often I find, you really just got to work out what time is right. I often find that tax time's a real good time to sell big things, because a lot of people have a little extra money. So if you want to sell a big piece of furniture for $400-500, most people don't just have that disposable income. So you want to try and pick a time where, maybe they might have a little bit of extra, which is usually around the July mark. So start selling your big things around July, August, and you'll find that most of that stuff will sell. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of our family. And I hope you continue to follow us as we start packing up our lives and doing a brand new journey, and buying our van and car, etc., and giving you hints and tips along the way of what's happened to us and how we've done it. And I hope you all have an amazing day. Look after each other and look after your families and look after yourselves. Bye, guys.